Previously in the week, the General Services Administration had offered to give delayed meetings on transition because Trump's ass licker, Emily Murphy, had refused to ascertain that Joe Biden had won a victory simply because he had, and Trump didn't like it. The excuse given, which was being made attention to, has gone away. Michigan certified Biden's win after Trump lost yet another of the 30-plus lawsuits in a row to stop them from just counting votes or whatever. Also in Michigan, not just Michigan, but the day before in Pennsylvania, that was blocked. And they're certified. They're allowed to certify the vote. The thing is, everyone says, well, it's not over till, and then they keep moving the goalpost. So today, Emily Murphy signed off and said the transition can begin, acknowledging Joe Biden has won. Now, this is going to cause another backlash, and Trump is likely to fire her, or she's going to backpedal later, or whatever. It's all a bunch of skullduggery and backstabbing going on. And no, she doesn't get forgiven because she was dragging her feet. There aren't any combinations where Trump would have the 270 votes plus. The only thing he could hope for is just bogging it down to be a dick about it. He can't be president for the next 4 years. It's not acceptable. It's not allowed. He lost. He lost by popular vote and by the number of states and by the Electoral College. And simply trying to prevent people from counting votes so he doesn't have to lose, so his ego isn't bruised, is literally all the fucker wants. General Services Administration itself and her acknowledged Trump lost to Biden. But that's not exactly what she said. Hang on to whatever little itty-bitty handful of snowflakes you have to hang on to if you're going to be, pearl clutching here. Trump is also being sued by black Detroit voters, not because of racism, but for violating the Voting Rights Act. Because Voting Rights Act violations, which are really obvious at this point, have been done, attempting to suppress the vote by getting a rule passed to decide to get rid of it, including overtly interfering with the people certifying the vote. Yes, one person decided to drop on his sword for Trump and refuse to certify. That's nice. He's not allowed to do this anymore. He can be excluded. And the Republican Party, which will do a snit later if they can't put him back in there so that they can say, we won a Pyrrhic victory, will get told, okay, you can have one person certify the vote during this next election only. The states are not required to keep it fair and balanced. They can just put an independent in there or some other random person who couldn't give a shit to do the vote certification. The State Association of Canvassers or whatever. Anyway, my prediction is the same thing we already know, that Biden won, and that's the end of it. But if someone wants to argue below in the description, in the comment section, they can get away with it because we're in a free country. You can say anything you want to have. You're not allowed, however, to decide who the president is because you personally are having a problem with this. The only move left over for Trump to do, because he couldn't give a shit if he starts an actual fucking war, a ground war in the United States, is to either launch weapons against some country so he can start a world war, so that he can, because he doesn't give a shit, or tell the Boogaloo boys to start killing everybody. That's his only thing left. I mean, at this point, he's run out of crap. Even his own legal team is falling apart because they had to distance themselves from somebody that made it to where showing up in court would be a bad idea. Oh, by the way, the reason they lost the cases is, again, they went out of their way to refuse to provide evidence of any form of hinky behavior with the election. And Trump's demanding a second recount. The second recount cannot affect what the outcome is anymore because they've already done a recount. That's it. Demanding another recount, this one just is no different than the first original count that was done, isn't going to do much except try to create a delay. And they don't have to do that. They can certify and request that certification be pumped out, and that's it. The only thing that can happen is if they can get a senator or a governor to ignore the laws. And at that point, you have a currently sitting public official who's defying the state and federal constitution. that forbids that sort of interference. It's not a constitutional crisis. You just fire the fucker. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck.